modules. And we'll be meeting you 3 consecutive times. So we will do introduction to legal systems. We will do introduction to legal systems. And what you get is the same thing the lawyers are doing. Okay? So it's a free module. We will do entity identification and governance structures. Okay? Entity identification and governance structures. We will also do legal frameworks and development. Legal frameworks and development. How a document can be legally developed. So that you can rely on that document to say that this is a legal document. We will do educational provisions and rights. So after we have done the 3 phases, we will come down to home. We come to educational provisions and rights. How is that? How is that? You can't see. You will see, don't worry. Don't worry yourself. You wanted to do this. Don't worry, they will see. The understanding is very important. And we will explain everything to you. Okay? So you can write, but minimize the writing and listen. Okay? So we will explain it. And we will also give you the slides. Okay? So that you can be reading it always. So we will do 4 educational provisions and rights. Are there any educational provisions in any of certain documents? And if we are doing education, what are some of the rights? Right? Then we will do permissible educational indicators. There are certain educational indicators that are permitted, meaning there are unpermissible ones. Okay? We will discuss them. And then we will look at legalities of those educational indicators. The legal understanding on those things. For instance, if you talk of notice board, can you be charged on failure of instituting a notice board in your school? Okay? Those legalities, you look at it. Employment. Can you employ? Can you have a contractual agreement? And who can you have those contractual agreements with? I know you've been working with SS graduates. And basically they are from 18, 19, 20. And you are allowing them to sign contracts with you. You will look at those ones. If it is permitted for you to be signing contracts, employment contracts and other things with those people, what the law says. Okay? Somebody drinks or somebody is a drunkard and is in your school teaching. He hit a child with a cane. A parent goes into your school, necessarily beating your teacher. Okay? So these are are some of the things that we are going to discuss. So when you go back in your various institutions, quickly, if there are things that are not in place, you fix them, then you become King Kong, managing your school. Some people are owing you school fees. How do you take those money? You'll be using the words policy, my school policy, my school policy. Is the law recognize the school policy as a legal document? For naming that document as, let's say, policy, does it limit the full potency aspect of that document for just naming that document as a policy? Okay? Good. You know what happened at Achimota? What happened at Achimota school? What happened at Achimota school? Oh, we are in class. I'll beat you. Yeah, this class. Where we meet. What happened in Achimota school? Yes, uncle. School policy. They didn't hear you.
I say that school policy seemingly coming in conflict with national laws.
Okay. Similarly or okay. So the question is, what actually happened? Yes, Andrew.
So these two Rastafarians got admission to the school.
Great.
But the school is saying that
Great.
their policy does not allow that girls into their school. So they didn't allow them admission.
And the law said what? By the end of the day,
The law said that they have to
be in the school.
Yes.
What are the things that the law or those who made that decision look at it and said, hey, if you go, let them go to their school. Even though you claim you have school policy, whether that document should be called a school policy. Okay? So these are the things that we are going to discuss. I've been hearing my school fees policy. It says that you have to pay 10%, you have to pay 50%. You will look at it, whether those documents are supposed to be called policy. And if it is policy, what are the strengths it has? It might be that that document is a legal document, but just title it as a policy. But have reduced the full potency of that document into the various points. So these are the things that we are going to discuss. And why it has been our time now, we are still using it. Okay? So these are the things that we are in very interesting area. So, as I said, the first area of discussion will be the introduction of legal systems. Legal systems. And the legal systems within that scope of model, or let's say, that course outline. We will look at the 3 or 4 key areas. 1, the legal relationship between rules and laws. The relationship between a rule and a law. We will also look at the origin of that law, where it came from. As part of the introduction, we will also look at sources of the laws in Ghana. And then we go into understanding legal documents. Understanding when you see a document, then you say this is a legal document, so I have to be very careful. This is not a legal document. So, and at that last time, somebody came to the office with a slate pen. And the person was, I think they were about sending the person to, the person was about to appeal. So they slate, very strong. So they have pushed almost of their issues on Saturday. So Friday, this school owner, with all the, they came and looked at the documents. They don't have any case. There was one omission on the document. And based on that, I told them, go home, go and pound food, eat, drink, celebrate. Tomorrow, the case will not come. Just this one just to intimidate you so that you can go and pay us. Because per the assessment of the document that they brought lacks certain things that a technical or a legal eye sees it and know that this is not a document. There wasn't any reference number. Though it was a writ issued from the courts, because the slave people, you know what they have done? They have the court sermons, copies in their car, okay? And they have that statement attached. So they read that statement as claimed it, and they will not be able to know the reference number from the registrar and quote it before the time they will give it to you. When they come to school, they find that there is accepting the registrar to you. They will quickly issue it to you. When you take it and go to the court, at your plan side, you will go and fill the reference number, and it becomes a legal document. So most of the times you see the sermons at the top, you won't see the reference number. It means that the court registrar has not registered that case that can be presented to the judge to look at it. Hey, master, go get fufu and upon you eat and relax.
Why then would the judge also sit on it?
I'm saying that in Ghana, every cat can be killed. When they go at the land side, before the case will be called, and you never the trial number. So you should know. Okay? So these are some of the things that we are doing. So when they bring it to you, take it and say, hallelujah. When they bring it to you and it is there, they say, let's. So these are the things that we are supposed to do there. And it will help. And also, by the end of the day, you become law conformist. You will be conforming towards the things that you are supposed to take the proper decisions. Okay. Now, let me ask this question. And this one, everybody is going to say, what is law? Nobody asked the question. What is law? Some people are Googling. If you Google, what is law? In our normal circumstance, every language that you want to say, somebody will translate it.
Rules.
Please write it. Rules. Write the word rules. Good.
That governs human actions. Okay, let me explain.
And yet, let me organize it. Laws are rules that govern human action. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes.
Framework of rules. That has been innovated through structures. Okay, for people to abide by it.
Framework of rules which has been promulgated.
That has been promulgated. Yes. Laws are rules and regulations that govern the people or that governs a country. Yes, I.
Rules are set up or a law.
Okay.
It's a set of rules that are created or that are created to.
It's okay that are created.
A law.
But I want to know whether your hand was up.
All right, laws are constitutional mandate of every country.
Constitutional mandate. Okay. Constitutional law. Student. Okay. Yes, you are supposed to
Govern an institution or
Okay. So let me go back. Then if laws are rules, because each and everyone is saying laws are rules. So what do you mean by rules? So you can also say that rules are laws. Rules are laws. Okay, yes.
It's when we talk about rules, there are duties and responsibilities that must
Okay. Duties and responsibilities that must be performed. Okay. So we are still looking at the legal relationship between rules and laws. Most of the time, we say all laws are rules. So all of you who are saying laws are rules, no, 100%. Let us clap for ourselves. 100%. Legal principle. 100%. But when you go forward to say that, but not all rules are laws unless what? They are enforceable. All laws are rules, but not all rules are laws unless they are enforceable. So take note of these expressions very carefully. Because you may say that a rule is a law, but that is not it. And that is one of the things that it is happening in our schools. My school policy is saying, the question is that has your school policy gotten that kind of the legal ability of what? Enforceability. Can you enforce it? In my class, I don't like sharing things. This table is for who? This table. Who got the table? Why are you sharing the table? Who brought the table? It's all rules will be seen as what? Laws. If a rule is seen as a law, then it must be characterized with what? Enforceability. So the distinction between the law and rules is that the law has to have enforceability clauses in it. Other than that, it becomes a rule. Are you here with me? Great. Take your constitution. Take your constitution. Open to Article 19. If you don't have it, I'm not going to put it on the board, though. Because we are going to look at the enforceability. What do you mean by enforceability? Article 19.5. Read Article 19.5 for me. No, we have a constitutional. Please read it for us.
Okay. Article 19.5.
Of what?
Of fair trial.
No. Article 19.5 of 1992.
1992 Constitution.
You are quoting.
Thank you very much. It says a
No,
person
please take your time. Article 19.5 of what?
of
No, take your time.
1992 Constitution.
So take your time. Article 19.5 of the 1992 Constitution. Then you know that you are referring from a particular book.
Okay.
So take your time and start.
Article 19.5 of 1992 Constitution.
Okay.
A person shall not be charged
A person shall not be charged
with or held to be guilty
with or held to be guilty
of a criminal offense
of a criminal offense
which is founded on an act or omission that did not at the time it took place constitute an offense.
So you will not be guilty of an offense if that offense has not been constituted as an offense. Take note. We run our schools. At any point in time, somebody does something, we call the person and you punish the person without any reference act, any reference portion that says that if you do this, this is what is supposed to be done to you. That is what the Constitution is saying. I don't know whether you are here with me. The law is saying that we are looking at enforceability. The law is saying that do not subject anybody to any criminal activity or any activity being omission on an act. If that act has not been codified specifically in your running of an institution, what happens in your home is different because that your home is not a legal entity. We are talking about a registered school where the name was given by what? Attorney General Department. You know, you have to go to Registrar General to register. There is a reason. So the activity that you take in the school should be a subject of law. I think it's very clear. So what it means is that before you can step in to punish, there should be a reference line. There should be a path. There should be a document that is protected, that you are making reference to. That will be the way you slap this child. In our laws in law school, refer that when you slap a child, this is what you are supposed to do. That is what so the possibility is that a rule that is just formed on the event is not enforceable. You know, we do that mostly in our schools. So if you want to use that, then write it. Let it be part of your school culture. Is it clear? Yeah. Read the next section, Article 1911. Of what?
Of 1992 Constitution.
What is mean alone? Read Article 1911 for me. Someone has committed an offense in your school and you are punishing the person. That clause or provision is in Article 1911 of Janet and Sons Educational Complex Regulation. Then it means that you have a reliance to work on. So here, Article 1911 of 1992 Constitution. Continue.
No person of a criminal offense.
Great.
Unless the offense is defined and the penalty for it is prescribed in a written law.
Hallelujah. Amen. The chapter or the provision is saying that nobody should be convicted of a criminal offense unless that offense is prescribed. So So you have prescribed that offense. And the penalty for it is what? It's identified. The offense is what? Identified. And then the punishment is what? Prescribed. What it means is that most of the time pay school fees. Payment of school. You don't add it. That kind of prescription that is not making a law will not make it a law. It becomes a regulation if you don't go ahead to round it up with each punishment that is associated with such words and acts. See, it's beautiful. So the committed person should know that if I contravenes this is the measure I will measure it. Very simple. So you should know that if the parent don't pay the school fees and you get to this time, these are the prescription of what? Punishment that comes with. So if you are instituting those punishments, the parent will not have any cause of action against you. If you just sack them, you have a cause of action against you.
I believe it must be well defined and the penalty for it must be prescribed. Mostly in our schools, we have something like this. Let's say, scaling of wall. Is that it? Now, that one goes for what? Dismissal. Is that not it? Now, this cannot be a law in the school. You have it that when someone scales the wall, the punishment is dismissal. But how would we know that someone has scaled the wall? Is it by bringing the ruler to the wall? By bringing a scale to the wall? Or what? What do you mean by scaling? The Constitution is telling you that for this one to become a law, you must go ahead to define what scaling the wall means. So after doing this, you continue to say, here in our school, a person scales a wall when he or she jumps, fly over. Oh, what? Take your time. Climbs. The person jumps over when he or she jumps, fly over, climbs, or move over. Move over. Move over the boundary walls of the school in all directions. Great. Okay, so scaling the wall is the offense you are talking about. Now, this is the definition for scaling the wall. Okay, so therefore, when tomorrow you find Adwa Mansa on a chair like this, and is looking over the wall, you don't charge Adwa for scaling the wall. Okay? Adwa is only peeping over the wall. Adwa has not scaled. Okay? She is only peeping. So you give the words, and you see, by doing this, the rule goes on to say that when you do all these things, either you dance, you fly over, you climb, you move over, okay? In all directions. In all directions means that the person can scale in and scale out. So when you move over the wall from the direction of the outside of the wall into the campus, you have scaled it. When you move or fly over it or jump over it from inside outside, you have scaled it. Then you add the punishment of what? Dismissal. A person who jumps, flies over, climbs, move over the boundaries of the wall will be dismissed from the school. You have a law.
So, understood. So, certain activities or decisions that we take in our schools, and now they are knowing because you are also knowing. And I'm telling you, they have also gone for camping and they are taking through this. You think you should only know? All right. So sometimes also we create the law immediately the offense has happened. The law is warning us that you cannot charge us for an offense of a law that is not in existence as at the time the offense was committed. So always, before you can say that someone has done something wrong, there is a measure of time. Is it any time or is it any document that's prescribed and also defines the action of the person as ultra-vires? For that matter, you are calling the person towards order. If you don't have, please don't venture. Don't venture. Mostly, it is human activities that always lead people to create what? Laws. So when it happens, then you go back and then you create it. And that person who brought that or who caused that will score to go first. So take note of that. Yes, please. Ask a question. Okay.
There was this child match. And then I gave him an attack, all right.
Okay.
And then I stated conditions for dismissal.
Okay.
And I realized that after the probation, I realized that there was a lot of things that he couldn't do right.
Okay.
There were a lot of things that were lies in his application letter. Even his educational background, I was trying to cross-check and I wasn't getting access. That means there were some kind of lies to apply. So I realized that he was also getting quick-tempered about things, he getting agitated about things. So I said, okay, now looking at the condition of the school, I used the financial because of the school, and I knew that things were difficult for us. And I said, looking at the financial system of the school, I want him to relax for a while, and then I'll let him come. Because there was nothing in the appointment letter saying, if you lie about your application, I'll sack you. So I was also scared to state something like that in the dismissal. So I just said, I'll call him back if things, if the financial system of the school comes. And unfortunately for me, he took me to court.
He took you to court?
Yes.
Okay, share with us.
But the court that he took me to, he brought a letter that he has taken me to court. And I was like, why court? And I didn't understand because so I asked somebody who is older than me, and he said, you will be on that position at church. And I was like, then the person came to the school and was like, sign manual, or the now, I'm saying, yeah, 1 million in a minimum car. Now, I said, it's your car. I've done what I'm supposed to do before you let you do. I'm not saying you should go, I'm sacking you. I'm saying, look at the financial system. I can't pay that amount for now. At the end of the day, I realized that it was a lie. The court was a lie. And then you had it, that's how it. So there's a court beside the one. My school. So I went there, and the clerk told me, oh, madam, you come back.
Okay. By the time you were told that terminating an appointment and engaging this is someone which will be treating it. And it's very important to bring, let's say, terminational clauses in your country. So at any point in time, there's a way that you want to terminate it, then you can refer to those clauses. One of it would have been the financial grounds of this. But the law has come out with a presupposed conditions, which I told you to buy a certain act, employment act, labor act. You didn't buy them. You have to buy them by repeating them to give you the clauses and all the rights of the employer, the rights of the employee, and this cut across everywhere. Don't say I'm a private school teacher or I'm a private school owner, so the labor law doesn't come to play. It comes. It's very important to align yourself with those things. I don't ask you to lead into that because it will bring a different question.
The contract is, there is no contract in there. But for the sake of advice, let me tell you that it is better you deal with issues, legal issues, and end it than to procrastinate, to send it forward, okay? For you men, by reason of the fact that your character is not in line with the vision of my organization, your appointment that was given to you on this day is on this day terminated. Okay.
Yes, madam. You came from, you are coming from? Oh, yesterday you were there. Others that you operate also have influence in the behavioral nature of that state. Are you here with me? So things that we are going through here in Ghana, this, that, or all these things, what it means is that there are certain things you have not really connected it to our laws. There is the freedom. Okay? So these three legal systems, we are here, so we will guide you. Now, when you go into the Ghanaian legal system or the English legal system, if I say Ghanaian legal system, it is a system that we have adopted and we have common law. Take note. We have equity and modern English system. These are all historic, and I will quickly do the history for you. Get and it's very beautiful. 1066. Whenever you hear it, remember 1066. Wait. 1066. The English people were practicing what we call the feudalism. The feudalism. And with the feudalism system, it is just like more or less like a circle. We have knots around it. There's no point of meeting. Okay? So, assuming in Ghana, we have the Ashanti people are running their own activities, Rotarians, AWS, Zemans, these people, they are doing their different things. That is the feudalist system where their laws are not connected into the center. So, during the time of 1066, the Normans, have you been hearing the word Norman? Now people are naming their children Norman, this, Norman, and all this. The Normans, and not all of the Normans, these are the leaders that led the great formation of what? Britain. The Normans decided that this feudalist system where these people are forming their system, why don't we connect them together? Okay? Why don't we connect them together and get the understanding or the ability that we are looking for as Britain? That's what we call Great Britain. So all the systems came together, and then as they are coming together, they were coming with their normal practices. Common. So the common best practices here, bring them together. They brought them together and they brought what we call the common law, led by Alexander. So even in Britain, we have the three houses. Okay? You know them? House of what? House of Lords, House of Commons and what?
Parliament House.
The Queen, the Crown. The Crown, the House of Commons, and then the House of Lords. The House of Lords, it is just a creation. And these are some of the things that we should be also learning. It's very important. It's a creation that they created for them. All the soldiers that led in the, let's say, the formation of Great Britain, soldiers who came from supporting the great Alexander, Edward. Edward made them House of Lords. Those who went, those who said they won't go were made House of Commons. And the Edward group becomes the Crown. So that is the reason. So when these people came together, the laws that they brought, and the laws that they brought, things that they were doing in their various Buddhist system, then they came out with what we call more or less a conical legal system like this, where the law is not at this point. So all the laws are here. And at any point in time, this law is pushed out. It means that within the environment, everything will be drained. And this is not a stable system. You understand? So even in Ghana, we are running something like this. At any point in time, the constitution is cracked. It means that everything will come down. So that is one thing you should know. As a legal head of a legal institution, you are running a school. Anything can happen to you in school. You should know this, and it will inform you in certain issues. So the common law is the amalgamation of the practices, the best practices that were in the system coming together. Equity. Equity, when the common law were in practice, they realized that there were stringent measures. Stringent measures. So the King's Bench and the Queen's Bench were trying to come out with reasoning. And equity, let's say, models were devolved. Equitable models were devolved. I'm saying this for a purpose, because Ghana, these things are working. The question to your answer dwells on what? Equity. So my Lord, even though I don't have any constitution, I don't have any regulation in my school, that says that they should pay school fees. But I know, and these persons are aware that free SHS is somewhere. And I want to enjoy where it is simply that nobody, all our taxes are being put together to what? To pay for that. For him to come and bury me alone, he owes me an equity what? Realization that he has to pay that money. An equitable way. You understand? You should know this. So, therefore, if somebody is making that legal argument, you know where the person is coming from. So when the law became so strict in reliance on it, people said, no. It's like the common law was saying that if your mother is owing you, take the legal process and take it. Equitable reasons will say that the money that you take from your mother, you will still own an equitable responsibility to take care of what? Your mother. So don't take the money. I don't know whether you are understanding the discussion. So all these things are mixtures of our laws now. Now, when these people were fighting, so it got to a time the equitable issues were stronger than the common law. And common laws, they were fighting against themselves. So they all met and agreed that let us come together, let us emerge what? The common law and the equitable issues together and get what we call modern English system. Modern English system. So with the modern English system, it's an amalgamation of what? Equitable principles and common law principles. But whenever there is a contravention between equitable principles and common law principles, the equitable principle will rise up. Take note of it. So they agreed. And they all came together. These people journeyed to the southern, to read the Africans. And then they decided to bring this their laws. Because when you ask someone in England, they can't afford it. So they brought that here for us. So in Ghana, if you are looking at the sources of law, though you will go into the constitution, but before the people came, we were having our customs. Okay? We were having our customs. How to marry. Okay? Two brothers, let's say a brother and a sister from the same family cannot what? When you go to a different country or a different aspect of the country, a sister and a sister from the same family can marry one what? Man. Okay? Oh, are you not aware? Yes. If the man is performing, children are producing. Now when they show now perform, they bet children are coming. So these are the customs that we are having. Then in Ghana, we have imported laws. So the imported laws are the stories I've shared with you. The English legal system. We have it in Ghana here. And truth be told, all our contractual issues, it's recently that the contract law act, the contract act has come out with a certain provision that's a bit different from that of what? The common law. Yeah, section 8. Yes. The rest, all of them are important laws based on the common law principle. So in Ghana, if you enter into any contract and you go to court, the cases that will be cited as principles and authorities are foreign cases. Don't be confused because we are using their laws here. Okay? So it creates that ambiguity between who, let's say, who is a minor. Criminal sense, we know a minor is someone below an age of what? 12. Yeah. We are talking about election. But we are talking about law. In law, Ghana, if you are 13 years, 12 years and above, and you commit any criminal offense, you will subject to adultery. Okay?
Not adult, but we have given out.
We have given out. Yes.
12 years is mature to be criminally held liable.
Yes.
12 years.
If you are less than that and you slaughter Ubiti Kurana, you go scot-free. Yeah. Involuntary agent. So those so check. And so in ambiguity of age, constitutional law, entering into a contract with somebody, it is about 21 years and above before someone can represent himself that I'm entering into a contract with you. So if your appointment letter, you have termed it a contract of what? Appointment. And the person's age is 18 years. It means that if you obey those who will be not for so you will get there. You see, we are not talking about voting. We are not talking about franchise rights. We are talking about contract. Since we are using imported law, and this one, it is saying that at the age of 21 years and below, such a person is a minor in terms of contractual issues.
Like they are saying, 18 years is an age of maturity over here, but not for everyone. Okay?
Yeah.
It is just as we was talking about the variation of the contract at the at 25. Ghana has sat down to see that as situations are changing, sometimes you may have to modify some of the common law principles. So as we stand now, the at 25, okay, I think section 11 of it had also modified the age. The common law age for contractual maturity is 21. And here we have bring it down to 18 now. Now the 18 is not for everything. That's what we'll have to do. 18 years, just as the Constitution said, is an age where a person, a citizen of Ghana, can express his or herself in sharing ideas with adults. But it's not for everything. When we come to matters of sexual activities, for instance, the law gives 16 years for a female as an age of maturity. That's why when one sleeps with a child below age 16, we charge the person for defilement. 16 years and above, rape. Okay? What it means is that the 16-year-old girl has been mandated by law to be able to consent to sex. Okay? Consent to sex. She has consent to sex. But it doesn't mean the 16-year has reached an age where she can deliberate with adults by voting. By deliberation, the age is what? 18. But consenting to sex, 16. Now when it comes to criminal liability, 12. Okay, so we have ages. The age differences. There are differences.
And even there are certain activities also that the person is supposed to involve. So we have necessary rules and other things. A minor who is subjected to something that is very necessary. In the absence of that thing, he cannot leave. Yes, the law will permeate such a person to enter into the contract so that life cannot go. So there are certain legalities in all these discussions. But what we are trying to say is that the law that we are using in Ghana, we have customs, we have important laws, and political laws as well. But we will treat them as we move on. Yes, I saw your hand. Your hand, yes.
Yeah, on Charles. In this case, if you employ someone in the school, and the person is below 18, 18, will you be forced to
so you catch your that appointment in a sense of necessity. You understand? Because basically, the law should not allow you to work with someone who has been identified as a minor. And you catch it in such a way that whatever the person is going to do is deemed so necessary as at the time to help the person progress to the next stage of life. You understand? In this sense, you are safeguarding yourself from certain kind of legality. You will not see such a person bringing a cause of action against you. The issue will arise if that person commits certain activity in the school, and you will want to subject that person to the face of what? To the law. That the person will rely and say that he is a minor. So there is a way of catching it, of your regulations, and deeming it as a training ground for the person. You know that whatever you are giving to the teachers, it also can be seen as a competency-based training. Are you aware? That, so even your school registration, the activities the school will be doing should be embedded, and the school is also into competency-based training of people of certain categories. In this sense, you are saving your image if you are getting into other issues. I told you raping. And is it raping or marrying?
An old man married a 12 years old.
Has there been any penetration? Why are you laughing? Perhaps, listen, perhaps I'm married to the person of 12 years, but I have not had any penetration with the person.
This telling novella on TV, is it Joy Pamela, Barrister Pablo or something? You see that the guy is married to the girl, but throughout their period, he's never had any sexual relations with her. And that has been what the problem within the family.
But not in Ghana.
It better explains what my sister is saying. You understand? Yes, ma'am.
Convince the judge. That is all. Because whatever will be done here as wrong, somebody can do the same thing and come and argue it in certain principles and make it work. Right. So when you are taking the law in your hands, you have to be very careful with your legal arguments. It's very important. That's why I'm saying that it depends on how you will catch your statement. In catching it, it becomes so relevant in such a way that you escape certain liabilities. Somebody will go ahead. What about you giving appointment? I'm not writing contract of appointment. Avoiding the word of contract and just say appointment. I don't know whether you are here with me. What do you gain when you add contract? And this is some more. You see, so it depends on how you catch it and it will help you. And I think in catching.
So I know that judgments and other precedents serve as source of law.
Yeah.
So given that, where will that fall? Having said that, customs and then political, these are sources of law. But where will precedents and judgments, where will it fall?
Okay, so precedents, the settled dispute in the law and the pronouncement, and how it was, let's say, I slapped the official, and therefore it went to court. The judge said that the slapping of Kofi is supposed to merit Kofi 10, let's say, bonus or bottles of coke. So that one becomes of the precedent. So the next time somebody slaps someone, we know the precedent. That is the common law principles. So when we talk of imported laws, all precedents sit within what? The common law principles. Because when the feudal system were coming together, they came together with the settled issues that they have done and how they did it. So that is what we call codification of what? Laws.
So even local, talking about
when the imported laws came, how was it integrated into the system? We will look at it, don't worry. He will be drafting certain provisions for you. You take it along. But don't forget that as those of who came to NATWA, now all the private schools, we have agreed to have a law firm drafting our laws and school management issues for you. They are here. There are certain small lawyers around. They are with this African Center for Policy and Development and you see them around. We want to employ them to be drafting things for me because it's very risky. When
let me finish with the watchword. So he was talking about you contracting a minor, okay? Mostly when you have contract with such group of people. In fact, it is illegal ab initio. Like what did I say? Right from the beginning, there is no contract. You don't have any contract. In fact, the person can sue you and the court will give the person hearing, but you cannot sue the person.
Yeah.
Okay. When you sue the person, the court will not give you hearing because the person is a minor. Okay. However, there are ways that minors can also enter into contract. And the law, as he rightly said, when it is an opportunity that you are giving to the person to upgrade himself. So you have not contracted the minor, but you are giving the minor a what? A skill. Okay? He is an apprentice. He is learning from you how to upgrade oneself to become a teacher. And for that,
before the source of law, the important law, the bond of 1844 is one of the monumental issues always you should remember. It gave the chance of the white people to actually bring their laws and perfect it in our system. The Infantis Confederation, okay? It gave the white people the chance to actually exercise, test their laws, and realize that yes, you can use these laws in Ghana. That is the first one. The establishment of the Supreme Court Ordinance in 1976 also affirmed to the fact that 1876 to the fact that the white people laws are exactly things that we are doing in Ghana here. So these are the important laws, and the Constitution recognizes that. When they came, the important laws, at the bond of 1844, aside all the promises that they made, there were specific things that they did in our country. One, a direct composition of Court of Common Pleas was here, Queen's Bench was here, and then the Esquire was also here. That different issues were treated in different courts. I'm just trying to let you know that the importation of the laws that we are using here, these white people came and established those things here. When we decided to sack them that they are no more needed, they went actually away with this system and leave out with only the Supreme Court ordinance that we have been using as of now. Even though we have tried as much as possible to, let's say, imitate them, since because Ghana here we have the Shraj, we have the High Court, we have the Magistrate Court, we have the Court of Appeal, and all these things. They were looking at three key components. As at now, when you have a case where directly you go to seek for refuge and all these things. And these practices are things that were imported from the past in our system. Good. These are basics. The important law, the establishment of the Supreme Court Ordinance. The Supreme Court Ordinance also gives us the dualist legal system. The dualist legal system is that as we speak in Ghana here now, we are practicing the common law principle in the field of civil. So if I slap lawyer and free right now, the court, the country may have a cause of action against me on a criminal liability act. But Mr. Freeman can also sue me for criminal or for what? Civil offense or tort. Okay? Please, I'm saying this for a purpose. Most of the times, when we are owing people, owing a guy, then you see ask yourself that at 29, which provision the person has what? Committed. That you are calling the police for the person. Issues like contractual agreements and all these things are issues that are settled in the court. So the Supreme Court ordinance made the dualist system. The dualist system is where we have the criminal liability part and the civil liability part. And there are certain activities that you do. It will be you between what? The state. That is the criminal liability part. If it is me between you, it is what? Civil. So one simple analogy I will give it to you is that at any point in time you hear Koto Mensah versus Republic, it means that it is criminal in nature. Okay? At any point in time you hear Kofi Mensah versus what? Yeah, it is civil in nature. Mensah versus Mensah, Akosia versus Akosia, this versus this. Yeah. Yes. Mensah versus
Forcing versus forcing. That is Mr. Forcing and Mrs.
So these are some of the things you should know to help you address yourself. Okay. Then the Court of Appeal, full court. You see, the Supreme Court ordinance also, when they decided that, okay, then we are going to have Court of Appeal. So as we speak now, the Court of Appeal system is still there. Where if you are not certified with a verdict or, let's say, a judgment, you go for review.
So we are going to come here with the appeal system. Let me use this opportunity to let you know. In our judicial system, when you go for arbitration, okay, when you go for customary arbitration, let's say there is an issue in the school, and you have sat down with a group of people and you want to settle with it. In fact, the moment you sit down and you settle with it, and the results of that arbitration is published means that made known to you and you accept it. You don't have any right to appeal in any court or another. Hello? Hello? I'm telling you, other colleagues, here, our principle of law is that you take, there are two things you take for better, for worse. One is marriage. You take your partner for better, for worse. Even so, the law gives some way where you can apply for a petition for divorce. Oh, it's a very long journey, but you can petition for divorce. Then the second thing is for arbitrators, customary arbitration. When there is an issue in the house or issue in school, and you have called people to sit down to settle it, the moment you sit down and you are allowed to say your part, you are allowed to call in your witnesses. The other party is allowed to say his or her part, and is allowed to call his or her witnesses. And the case is settled between the two of you, and the results have been indicated and you have assented to it. There is no court in Ghana that will give you hearing again with regards to that case. Hello? Yes, you will not have the right to appeal. You will not have the right to be heard in any other court. Therefore, anytime you are sitting down for such arbitration, I know schools normally do. They bring the issue to your office, you sit down, you talk about it, and you have to make sure that the results of that sitting down, that arbitration, is properly put down. And if you do not, in any arbitration you find yourself, if you do not agree to the outcome of the arbitration, let it be known to the arbitrators that you do not agree. The moment you accept and you go, you cannot turn back to send the same issue to court to be addressed. The court will throw you away. You will not be heard. Is it understood, please? Is it understood? So anytime there is an issue in the school and you want to sit and settle it, settle it and settle it well. Settle it well. Before you are being extolled from being given any legal, or if they bring the chief, the community chief and those people, and they sit down and you realize that it's not going well for your organization, indicate to the chief that you do not agree to the outcome of that arbitration. Is it understood?